Warriors, welcome to this video. I've been waiting to do this video for a couple of weeks now. I've gotten a lot of questions from people going, Dennis, why am I so emotionally depleted? Why do I have no willpower anymore? And these people are smart people with anxiety. You know, they're like, I've read every book out there, Dennis. I'm doing CBT with my practitioner. You know, I know about the amygdala and the brain. I understand how the body works. These people know what's going on, but they're emotionally bankrupt. They're emotionally depleted. And with that comes a lack of willpower. So that's what we're going to tackle today, guys. And I truly want you to understand that if you're going through this in your life, I went through it as well for a number of years, okay? So with me, it was the combination of internal challenges and external. Internal because I was fighting my symptoms of anxiety. Oh my goodness, what's that headache? Is it turning into a brain tumor? What's that? Oh my God, what's that new hair that's coming out of my shoulder? What is that thing? Could that lead to something else? Go on Dr. Google, start, researching. Holy macro. And then there was the external. My boss would say, Dennis, I don't know how good that job was that you did, and I would take it personal. Okay, that would be a big problem for me. And so there were always these internal challenges, and there were these external challenges, and they led me to my emotional bankruptcy. So the other thing was that with emotional depletion and a lack of willpower, there was decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is when you have to make even the smallest decisions, but have a difficulty making it. I'm at the movies, and I don't know what movie to actually see. I love drama, and I love comedy, and I love action. Oh my goodness, look at that. So, no idea. Should I get popcorn? Should I get this? Should I get that? All sorts of decisions become difficult. Where should I park? You get the message. So, emotional depletion can lead to decision fatigue. Let's understand that first and foremost, okay? It can also lead to the avoidance of making decisions. So some people will avoid people or circumstances that force them to make a decision. I, for one, didn't go to many meetings at work because there were decisions that had to be made and people asked me about those. But because I was so depleted, I never really could commit to one firm answer. So I stayed away from meetings. That's something that's normal. The lack of clear thinking. This is normal with emotional depletion. When you don't feel like you're thinking clearly, there's like, this fuzzy wall in front of you and you can't think through something. That's really, really normal with emotional depletion as well. And the other thing is the autopilot response, right? So someone asks you something and the first thing that comes to your mind is how you answer without giving it any thought or any kind of investigation, right? And mostly it'll be fear-based, right? Because we've practiced anxiety, we've practiced fear for so long that when someone asks us a question, our emotional response on autopilot is fear-based. So you'll find that you don't really construct your answers too much, right? You don't really dig too deep. You go for the emotional autopilot response, which is mainly fear-based, okay? Now, this is why many people fail to consistently implement new methods for anxiety. There's a lack of willpower there, right? As I mentioned, all these people are very smart people. They've read the anxiety books. They are doing CBT. They understand what they're going through. They understand that there are structures and patterns that are running anxiety. They understand that there are these habits. But the difficulty is in the implementation. The difficulty is in the implementation because there is no willpower left, right? There's no willpower left, and this can be very, very difficult. Now, the difficulty here is with three major factors. When you start to recover from anxiety and you're healing your anxiety, these are the main factors that stand in the way between suffering and recovery, okay? So, overriding automatic responses. This is the one thing, is when we start to indulge in this new path that we're on, we've got the tools, we've got the mindset, we're on our way. The difficulty is overriding those automatic responses. So for a while, what you're going to feel is this idea of taking a few more seconds to respond to people, for instance. When someone says the weather is so bad, and you're working on you and trying to gain a sense of self-control, you're going, couple seconds, no, I kind of like the cloudy actually. I kind of like the rain here. I kind of like how it's cooling down a bit, right? And that takes a certain sense of consciousness, right? A certain sense of being in the moment, in the present moment, instead of automatically responding. So you'll find that there's a little difficulty there. Don't be too hard on yourself and start working on overriding these automatic responses. That's the challenge in recovery. The next one is resisting temptation and these temporary feel-good things that you have in your life. Temptation doesn't have to be just the opposite sex temptation. It can be, at the end of the day, you're home and there's a bag of chips out there. First of all, what the heck is a bag of chips doing in your house? Get rid of those, okay? And secondly, there might be some ice cream in the freezer. Temptation. The temptation to stay up till midnight when you know that you need 9-10 hours of sleep to, again, recover those adrenals, to overcome this adrenal fatigue, to give back to your mind and body that's working so hard for you. So resisting temptation is really going to be a challenge as you engage in recovery from anxiety. The third one, and this is something that I dealt with when I was overcoming my emotional depletion, was changing my mindset from going narrow-minded to big picture, okay? Narrow-minded, tunnel vision, only seeing the good or the bad or the black and the white, to actually going, you know what? I'm going to see the big picture this time. I'm going to broaden my view. I'm going to have some flexibility here in the way I think about this. I'm going to have some flexibility in my action here and the way I behave, okay? So those are the three main factors that you're going to have to overcome in your recovery from anxiety. And trust me, as you start working on these things slowly, you're going to find that this becomes your new automatic response, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What we want to do is we want to attack depletion at the core, right at the core. We don't want to be, we don't want to be waiting for things to get better. We don't want to be engaging in the same habits and the same patterns and hoping for a change. We don't want that. We want to attack this at the core. How do we do that? Number one is, I want you guys to start doing these things so that you can in fact trigger the natural healing mechanisms within your mind and your body, okay? And there's two things that go with this. Number one is you've got to cut down the small, crappy, non-important decisions that you have to make throughout the day. For instance, what are you going to wear? Start wearing the same thing every Monday. Start wearing the same thing every Tuesday and Wednesday, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're not in your closet going, should I wear the blue suit, the black suit, the pink suit, or should I put that shirt on with those jeans, what shoes, this, that, because that is adding to your emotional depletion. That is adding to your lack of willpower, okay? That is contributing to these things that you don't want more of in your life, okay? So you want to cut down these small decisions you have to make and put those on autopilot, okay? If you're going to do your journaling every single day, do it at 6 p.m. so that you're not going, should I wake up in the morning and do it? Oh, I'll just wing it today. Tomorrow, I'll try to do it again tomorrow. If there are certain skill sets and habits that you have to change in your life, then do those at the same time every day so that you don't have to put too much thought into it, okay? The more conscious decisions you have to make, okay, the more you're eating up your willpower and the less self-control you're gonna have later on in the day. The second thing is you have got to start becoming conscious of the foods you put in your body, okay? We've got to fill our body with more glucose. Glucose is basically the fuel for your brain. Glucose is rice. Glucose is vegetables. Glucose is fruits, fish, yogurt. These are the things that are the fuel for your brain that's going to make this transition much, much easier for you. Okay, so let's pinpoint those two things, guys. Let's understand this video. I want to give you this message today and let you know that no matter what you're dealing with right now, it is a temporary form of wrongful programming. You are not going through a mental illness. Don't ever let anybody tell you that. It is a temporary form of wrongful programming. You've conditioned yourself to have anxiety. You've conditioned yourself to feel this way. And as much as you've conditioned yourself to be this way and feel this way, believe me, you can overcome this. If you have any questions on the #1 health anxiety program on the market today, the End the Anxiety program, let me know. Pick that up at anxietyexit.com. I will work with you through that program. Until then, remember, you are more than anxiety. Love you guys.